Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Talisha from Creativity by T on Instagram as well as on YouTube, and my blog is creativitybyt.com. Today I want to come to you with a quick pattern review of McCall's 7891, and I decided to make view C, but I did include the opening at the top front. The reason why I decided to make this dress is because I wanted to have something different to wear to my son's graduation. Right now, if you don't know by now, I am pregnant, and this was a pattern that I could make that I did not have to manipulate to justify the size of my stomach. And this is also something that I can wear afterwards. So I don't really like wasting clothes. I don't buy maternity clothes. I just really buy things that I can just grow into, and it will actually still be in style when I'm no longer pregnant. So that's why I chose this pattern. And like I said, I chose view C with the opening. And the reason why I chose view C with the opening is because I like the straps. I didn't want to have to worry about how like in view A, where it's like strapless and I didn't know if it was going to be falling down or anything like that. So I did have the straps, and I did not want the sleeves from view D because it just looked like, I don't know, it just didn't look right to me on the picture to have big sleeves with your shoulders out. So anyway, so that was my reason for choosing the pattern, and again, it was for my son's graduation, and I was very pleased with how it turned out. The size that I cut was actually a size 16, and it fit perfectly. It fit perfectly under the arms. Like I said, there were only 13 pattern pieces to cut out, so there were like two front sides, two front back sides, the two fronts and the two backs, and then the collar portion with the innervations and things like that. 13 pattern pieces total, and when I add up the amount of time that it took me to make it, it did take some time. However, I was very pleased with how it turned out. I can't remember off the top of my head where I purchased the fabric from, but I'll put it somewhere up here so that you can see it. But when I saw that fabric, I saw it through a feed on Instagram. I was like, I want that fabric because it matches my son's school colors. So that's the reason why I chose that fabric, and it is an Ankara fabric. It was not hard to sew. The only difficulty that I ran into, well, it really wasn't difficult, it was just not knowing, was when I sewed up the side front to connect it to the side back. It's to connect the small circles and the big circles and things like that, and that I did. And I did that at a 5/8 of a seam allowance. However, when you got closer to the top, because of the way it connected, 5/8 of a seam allowance was too much, because when it flapped over, the pieces where the underarm connected, when it flapped over, you would see everything. You would see the seam allowance and the finishings from the serger, and it was just too much fabric that was also left over that you were seeing. So one side, that was the first side that I noticed. So when I did the second side, I used the 5/8 of a seam allowance all the way until about 2 to 3 inches up towards that closing, and then I used probably, I don't know, just like a 1/2 inch of a seam allowance, which it ended up working out okay. So I did not feel like opening up the dress because I really didn't have enough time to redo the other side. So I will do that later because I don't want it to look like that. And the other thing I noticed was on the bottom opening where I added the binding, the bias tape, I'm sorry. Where they told you to put the bias tape, that gap, it was not enough bias tape in that area. So I had to add some. And so when I did the other side, I knew to just do more versus what they asked to do. So again, I'll put that over. And that was just things that you as a seamstress or whoever would notice. And not anyone else. So it wasn't a big deal. However, other than that, it was very easy to put together. I think it worked out really, really well, and everyone seemed to like it. I got compliments, and it was nice. The only change that I made was adding bias tape to the bottom of the dress to finish it. I didn't do a regular hem. I left the length the way it was when it was cut, and I just used single fold bias tape to make that finishing. So I thought it would be a nice touch to add, since the armholes had it, and then it would match up with that, and it worked out really well. Really no changes I would make to the pattern. The way my bust is, I think it changed the shape of the original hole for the front. So I mean, it didn't look bad or anything, it just wasn't straight, you know. Instead of it being like a straight, you know, hole, mine was more like a teardrop. So, but you know, that's okay though, because I still felt like it was cute. I wore my dress with the belt. I did not want to wear it without the belt because it was very flary without the belt, and I'm already pregnant. So I just really didn't want to look any wider than what I already am. So I used the belt, and the belt, you know, it rolled up, so it kind of like cupped me right underneath the bust area, but that was okay. I still feel like it looks very cute. I would suggest this pattern to anyone who likes the style of a dress. Typically, I don't know if I would have made this dress if I weren't pregnant. I don't think it's a bad dress at all. I think it's cute, especially the way the picture looks in view B. But like I said, I don't know if I would have been 100% drawn to it, just because of I kind of stick to the same old stuff, which I'm glad I chose this dress and made this dress, because it does kind of get me out of my comfort zone. I would definitely make it again if I felt like the occasion was appropriate for that. But as of right now, I probably wouldn't, just because I don't want to have the same dress in different fabric over and over and over again. And I'm definitely going to wear it again. Definitely going to wear it when I'm not pregnant. And that is my review for McCall's 7891. Stay tuned for pictures. I'm going to insert some pictures here so that you can see how I looked at the graduation. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Leave comments below, and we'll see you next time. Bye.